Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be creating this makeup look with some new makeup and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. So if you like new makeup videos, give this video a like, make sure you subscribe before you go, and let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to be testing out several of these new brushes. Let's just see how it goes. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Michelle, and today I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup, just hanging out, putting on my makeup of the day. Testing out a lot of the new makeup that I recently pulled in my most recent Shop My Stash. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my hair back and get started. I'm feeling like a hot mess, okay? Not worse than that. I'm feeling half alive. I'm feeling half alive at best. So I'm gonna try to put some makeup on and make myself look way better than I feel. So let's see how I pull it off. Let's see how well I can pull that off. I'm gonna pull my hair back. Okay. I'm still kind of sipping my coffee, which is why I don't have any lip balm on yet. Normally I like to start off with some lip balm, but because I'm still drinking my coffee, I'm gonna just leave my lips plain until I'm completely done with my coffee. So I'm gonna start off by testing out this Clinique primer that I got as a gift of purchase during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I got it when I purchased the makeup removing balm. I purchased a few of those, and so I got this. And hold on, wait, is that right? How did I get so many things? Yeah, I got this and a gift with purchase. So I ended up getting this as well as a mini black cherry like lip thing that they're known for, a mini mascara, which I do like their mascara, and a mini dramatically different moisturizing lotion, which normally I start off with that. So let me go ahead and start with that. I'm so out of sorts. Like, it's been so long since I put on a proper face of makeup that it's gonna be pretty comical to see if I can remember how to do this properly. Like, first go. As with all things, you know, when you stop practicing something, you get a little rusty. Okay. I give that a moment to set while now that my under makeup moisturizer has had a moment to set in, I'm gonna try this primer. It's got a weird applicator. Do I want to put this on my hand? I don't really think so, but what am I going to use to apply this? Let's use this little brush that I don't really like for anything. Whoa, that was a lot. That was probably too much. It just kind of squeezed out a lot, so let's see what happens. Just kind of load my brush up with it so it's not all in a blob. It doesn't have a scent, which I really appreciate. I love how Clinique makeup and lotions and stuff don't have fragrance. I love that so much. It's one of the reasons why I like their brand so much, is because they don't add unnecessary things that break me out. And they tend to have non-comedogenic, which I think means like doesn't clog your pores or whatever. They use those kinds of ingredients. And so I just have an appreciation for that because I don't want to be having clogged pores. Okay, we're going to give that primer a moment to set. I have used this foundation in the past, like I have used this foundation in different shades. Tried 2 other shades before this one. So this is going to be my first time to actually put this shade on, my third and final shade match, which thankfully I tried it on yesterday on my palette, and you can see it's a pretty good, ooh, that's really oxidized over the night. Anyway, you can see it's a really good shade match, and I have tried it with other primers, is my point for bringing that up. Today I'm going to test it out with this primer. Oh, good God. Okay, well, now my palette is dirty and I don't want to use it, so. It might behoove me to get another palette for when I do things like that. Anyway, I'm going to use this flat top star foundation brush from It Cosmetics. And I'm going to just do like 1 3/4 of a pump. Kind of remember this being a very full coverage moment. And I'm going to play it smart and go ahead and add, like put on my headband just to try to keep my little gray hairs from getting makeup all on them. All right. Oh, pulling my hair. Kind of like how you can tuck your hair into it and then pull back the baby hairs a little bit. All right, so that's going to be helpful to keep foundation off of my hair, hopefully. It's been a while since I put on like actual foundation. Trying to lightly spread it before I start to like build it up. I really, really love the way this foundation like looks on the skin. It gives me a completely full coverage beat without looking cakey or heavy. I mean, it doesn't look like you're not wearing makeup. You know, it does. You can tell that you have foundation on, but it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup or whatever. And yet it provides amazing coverage. You saw how messed up my whole like complexion looked overall before I covered everything with this foundation. And I didn't even use 2 full pumps. So I really, really love that foundation for a full coverage moment. Yeah, I like the way that looks a lot. I'm gonna go ahead now and do some concealer with it. I'm out of spaces in my dirty brush cup holder. Hold on. Okay, today I've used this one and this one. All right, so I think that looks really good. Excuse me. Now I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Multi-Sculpt, whatever it's called, concealer. I have the shade Almond. I got this in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale as well. I'm just going to put a little bit there. And because this thing is like super full coverage and blends out a lot, I'm only going to put that little dot there. I'm not going to go as far as to add more on the outer edge because I'm just going to blend out this to fit over there. Giving that a moment to set. While that does set, I'm going to, oh, did I get anything else for my brows? I forgot to get anything else for my brows. I'll probably just do like a powder brow moment with a brown shadow once I get to that portion of the eye look. And I also forgot to pull out a gel for today. Some brows are looking a little rough, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead now and blend this out. Because I am going to use the paint pot, I don't feel the need to put concealer on my eyelid because I want to put the least amount of layers there as possible. So I don't want to go in with concealer and then also eye base because my eye base is tinted. If I had a clear eye base, then sure, I would put my concealer up into my eye a little bit better, but my paint pot does that for me, so I'm good. Just trying really hard to avoid my little beauty mark that I have there as much as possible so that I don't completely cover it. I do feel like that looks so much better. Okay, next. I'm gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of lip balm because I think I'm gonna try to not drink any more coffee. This will encourage me not to take a sip. And I wish I would have taken a sip right before I started doing that, right as I said that, but the whole point is for me not try to drink more coffee. I know I still seem like I'm really low energy and you can't tell I've had 2 cups of really strong coffee, but I have had 2 cups of really strong coffee and I'm just really low energy because I'm still fighting this severe infection that I have going on. I don't really want to talk about it too much. Anyway, all right. I really do want to use the Dibs Beauty again, but I'm going to try this. Before I do the blush, I'm going to use this beautiful MAC palette for the first time. This is what it looks like, really, really pretty. And I didn't even like take a picture of this. Let me try to hold it so that I can take a photo for my Instagram off the video. If I could hold my hand right, that'd be great. Okay, hopefully I can get a little bit of a moment. Like that. Okay, that was the best as I could do. Did it have a plastic cover? I don't know. It probably already fell off. So right here, I've got a contour and a couple of bronzers, like a light bronzer and a deeper bronzer. Or if you have a different undertone, this could work as a contour for you. And it's also got a highlighter. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these cheek products from this palette all by themselves. And then I will test out 1 or more of the blushes from this pretty little Benefit palette that I have been threatening to use since February or January. I don't even know when. Yeah, this is very strong. Let me hold my fingers right. This is very strongly scented, so I wanted to try it today to see if it's going to bother me and give me a headache or irritate me in any way. I'm going to use it today while I only have a few errands to run. That way I could come home after a short time and wash off my makeup if I need to, if it makes me not feel very well, because sometimes that happens to me with scented makeup. Oftentimes that happens to me. Anyway, I am going to leave this open over here to kind of air out some while I test out the MAC palette. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use this Sephora Pro Brush for the contour. Here is what the embossing looks like up close. You can see it looks kind of like snakeskin for the Lunar New Year because it's Year of the Snake. And I thought that was a really beautiful touch. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the contour. I've never used a MAC face product before in my life. Never. Only eyeshadow, eyeliners and lip liners and lipstick. And now they're brushes. That's it. And I did not set my foundation with any powder. Because I find that this foundation kind of self-sets really nicely, and I like the way that it looks without powder on it. Ooh, that's really a beautiful color, and it's kind of dramatic yet subtle. Like, it looks pretty dramatic on the screen here from my vantage point, but it doesn't look overly done in person. It's a beautiful color. It's got like a hint of pink, like a little rosiness to the undertone of the contour. Can you see that? It's really beautiful. I like that a lot. Okay, let me get a different brush now. I'm gonna use this Sonia Kashuk brush for the bronzer. I'm gonna just kind of sweep it into the palette. I hope I didn't apply too much to the brush. It looks like I kind of have a lot. Just tap it off a little bit and reapply. And another soft tap off. Make sure I've got this all the way up so I don't miss any little areas. Is that a root or is that a hair? Yeah, that's a hair that's stuck there. Hold on. It's a little patch of tiny hairs that have recently grown in or something. That's funny. Okay. I just I'm going to try to do it a little bit more natural because although I've really been enjoying putting on a heavy bronzer, seeing that look on other people has made me realize that it probably doesn't look as good on me as I think it does. No shade, okay? No shade intended. It's got a beautiful, like, rosy undertone, like a cool rosy, not a warm rosiness. And I just really love the way that is looking on my skin. Beautiful, beautiful powders. Oh my God. This was a limited edition palette, and I didn't really hear anybody talking about it when I found it. And then I bought it. No, I placed it in my cart and I went to sleep to think about it. And then that very next morning, I saw a video uploaded featuring this face palette. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my sign to go ahead and order it. Because I wanted it anyway. And so, yeah, I went ahead and ordered it. And I'm so glad that I did. I think it's probably sold out now. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to use this belly brush here for the highlighter. I probably should do the blush first, but I'm going to go ahead and just apply the highlighter because I want to use this palette before I move on to the next one. Ooh, that's beautiful. It's just got like a nice little soft pearlescent highlight. Again, just a little, like a slight hint of an undertone of pink, like a peachy pink hue to it without being really obvious. It's a beautiful, beautiful color palette, like face colors that aren't necessarily blush. I'm so excited that I picked this up. I feel like I'm gonna end up getting a lot of use out of these powders, and it's really beautiful. It's not too much. Like you can see, I just keep tapping and adding more, and it's giving like a beautiful lit from within glow without being way too much. Yeah, so let me just go in hard and see. See, it's like, it doesn't overdo it. It doesn't like over build up. It's just so beautiful on the skin. Oh my gosh, love, 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 love. Okay, so now I want to test out this other shade here. I'm going to go ahead and use, am I going to do this for blush or bronzer? I'm going to use this for bronzer today. And I'm going to put this lighter shade here and see if it looks more like a contour or a bronzer. And this is like not having very much kick up at all. These are very, very beautifully finely milled powders. Ooh, that's a gorgeous color. Oh, wow. Definitely looks like a bronzer. Can go for like a contour bronzy moment. Definitely more for like the bottom maybe for me because it's less less warm and a little bit more contoury. So I do like it for here on the bottom side. Yeah. Okay. It's really pretty. Let's see if I have a small brush that I can do a little bit of nose contour with. Let's see. I'm going to use this little blender brush, and I'm going to try to use this bronzer shade here. It's like a little bit bronzy, a little bit contoury. Really, really love the colors in this palette. I think that looks great. Wow. Okay, I've officially used every single shade in this palette, and I absolutely love it. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that palette was an absolute hit. Where was that blush palette that I had? Oh yeah, I was airing it out. Okay, there went the little paper insert. I'm gonna go ahead now and try do I want to add this Hoola bronzer? I'm going to try the Hoola bronzer a different day. And I'm going to add just a little bit of this bright pink to the petal, like the pops of my cheek, apples of my cheek. You know what I'm saying. I'm looking for a specific brush and I can't find it. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to use this beautiful brush from Joa. I love this little brush so much. Does it have a number? I have no idea, but here is what it's called. I think that's upside down. Sorry that my nails are completely trashed. I've been landscaping, moving furniture, repotting plants, doing all kinds of stuff, cleaning out the garage, decluttering my house, all the like. I'm going to use the shade Dandelion. Ooh, that one is scented. Super strong. It's a pretty color. Okay. I do like the way that that looks. Don't worry, I am gonna like blend my face in just a little bit. I do, however, feel like I need to go back in with a little bit of bronze on like the forehead. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try the Hoola. I guess it doesn't matter if I use a brush that has, well, yeah, let me just get a clean brush for the sake of testing out the product all by itself. I'm going to use this belly brush here. There we go. That was the warmth that I felt like I was needing and missing. So yeah. Okay. I do really like the way that looks. Now I'm going to just buff my face out with this incredibly giant, beautiful stippling brush from Real Techniques that came out. I believe it was either early this year or late 2024. I can't remember which one, but I'm so glad that I picked it up. It's so great. All right. I would say that my base makeup looks rather nice for the day, and I'm excited to play with a new palette today. I'm kind of surprised that I haven't played with my Petal Morphosis palette yet, but for whatever reason, ooh, I've got head now, hold on. All right. For whatever reason, I'm not ready to use my Petal Morphosis palette yet, but I do want to use a new palette today. And let's see. I'm going to use this Charlotte Tilbury Neutral palette that I had delivered to a pickup location, and therefore it didn't go through my post office, and so it is actually brand new. Because I had this delivered to a pickup location, a parcel pickup location that bypassed my post office completely, this palette has never been touched, and it's actually brand new. Yeah. All right, take a breath. So I'm going to go ahead and test out this Charlotte Tilbury palette, and I'm going to do it with my MAC Paint Pot. I probably should take a picture for my Instagram, but I just really don't care. Nobody there's like all the 15 people that interact with me on Instagram. And because I have my account private now, and most of the people that follow me have like left Instagram or like aren't active and don't ever post or just don't come by my page or whatever, I just don't really have any incentive to care about it anymore. And yeah, so I'm just going to use my makeup and save any of the like sharing of it here with you specifically. I haven't done a proper eyeshadow look with eye base and everything, an eye palette that isn't more than like a 5-pan or a 3-pan at the most, in months. It's been like 2 months. So I'm excited to play with this palette today and see what it is that it's got to offer. So let me get some eyeshadow brushes out. So I'm going to be testing out, okay, so I pulled out my eye brushes. I picked up the extended set that Singe Beauty released. You can tell which ones they are because they're a completely different color from the original set, which I guess that'll be kind of good for me to be able to distinguish them a little bit within the pile, but it kind of sucks because like, look at how messy that looks. It doesn't look, uniform, like a set. Anyway, I'm gonna be testing out this set for the very first time. I've never used it. And since I love my original set so much, I thought, you know, it might be really cool to pick up the extended set. I wish I would have waited for their anniversary sale so that I would have spent 20% less online, but whatever. So here is the extended set. You can see that there are two different colors. I think this one might be one of them. No, this is part of the second launch. Yeah, like each launch is different. You can see the 3 from the other set and the yellow that was part of the original. Just by the various colors of the yellow. But anyway, I'm gonna be testing out several of these new brushes. Let's just see how it goes. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, oops, that had plastic over it. All right, so I'm gonna start off with this lightest shade here in the corner. I mean, you know, I don't know what kind of a variation people are gonna have with this palette because there's only like a couple of mattes and, you know, there's only so much you can do with the shades that are provided. But I'm still gonna go ahead and share my first impressions with you because I like to do that. So hopefully you will enjoy it. I've never used this brush as a crease brush. This is one of the new brushes here. This is the brush number. I can't even see what it says, so I have no idea, but I don't think I like it for in the crease so far. Not the way that I started off using it. Actually, I do like it if I place it a little bit lower. Okay, so it's not exactly the softest brush. I feel like it's, you know, a little bit rough. Not really rough. Rough isn't the right word. It's just not like silky smooth gliding on my skin the way I feel like the first set did. So I'm gonna just kind of tap with it a little bit more because it kind of feels like it's irritating my skin a little bit. It's a beautiful shade though. I should have picked up a backup of this first giant blender from the first set because honestly, these are so soft and silky and I love it so much. And I probably would like it to start it as like the start off blender too, but because I want to keep it clean for when I want to blend out, it's like I'm limited in how I can use it. So if I had 2 of them, I could use one to place the color and then have a clean one to blend everything at the end. I'm gonna build that shade up a little bit more out here. These eyeshadows are performing really, really lovely. Gorgeous. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I got this neutral palette before it possibly sold out. I wasn't gonna pick up any of these Charlotte Tilbury palettes, but then I decided, let me just go ahead and try it. All right, I'm gonna do this shade here now. This one might actually be a little bit too dark for this giant brush that I just picked up, but let's just see what happens. I'm gonna just build up this like lower corner of the outer edge a little bit. That is a beautiful color, mixing so beautifully with the crease shade. Okay, but because that brush is so like fat and wide, it's hard. Oh, here's one of the other new brushes. Thankfully, it's a super small detailed one because I feel like this is going to be great for me to get into the outer corner where the big fluffier brushes miss. Yeah, see, that was perfect for precise placement right there in the outer corner. I feel like that brush would also be really, really good for inner corner highlight. But because now I have it dirty with a dark shade, I won't be able to do that. I mean, I guess I could clean it off, you know, like wipe it down on a makeup eraser, like towel or whatever. But I don't have one of those here with me, so. Oh God, these colors are just so beautiful on my brown eyes, if I do say so myself. Not to sound like I'm boasting or anything, because I'm not, but really enjoying this palette so far. All right, I'm gonna take one of the original brushes and just pack my inner corner with this beautiful creamy color. Perfect for the inner corner. Oh my God, look at how beautiful that looks. It's bright without being white or chalky at all. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's like a bright pale, pale peach. And so it gives a little bit of like color correcting almost, whereas more of a white or a champagne color kind of enhances that like blue inner corner color. This just provides a little bit of like a peachy brightness. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna use that same shade now here in the top part of my brow bone. I'm definitely gonna have to go to my makeup stash and pull out something for my brows. I know I had said I was gonna use a shadow from the palette, but that's just not how I like to do my brows anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore, so just gonna take that one blender again, even though it's got a little bit of brown stuff on it probably, and just blend all that together. Oh, that's so pretty, and I feel like I'm almost done. Okay, so it looks like she brought out a shimmer shade brush, like a lid shimmer, a shimmer brush. So I'm gonna use that for this shade here. Ooh, it feels soft. Like the edge doesn't have a hard give, so I feel like it's gonna be really smooth on the eye. That's gorgeous. Oh, wow, look at that. That feels so nice. And this shade is kind of like almost creamy, not really creamy, but a little bit. The way that this, hold on. Okay, anyway, the way this like kind of feels almost like a putty in the palette, and I am using very light pressure with a very soft brush. So I don't know, I feel like that's a kind of a unique formula right there, but that's very much just like a clear topper. Okay, I'm gonna use the other side of this brush now and try this shade that's a little bit darker and put that here. Ooh, yeah. That is stunning. That is a beautiful brown. Look at that. Ooh, that looks so pretty with my brown eyes. I'm so glad that I got this palette. I looked at it and I was like online. I saw it online and when the Sephora sale hit, and I was just like, that doesn't really look like much. But then I was like, you know, this is Charlotte Tilbury we're talking about, and I haven't really liked her quads in the past. And I, for whatever reason, still to this day, haven't used her large palette that I got from the Beautylish Lucky Bag that one year. Still haven't checked it out. And so I was like, let me at least try the palette because I should. And I am so glad that I did because wow, look at that. I feel like those colors just blended absolutely beautifully together. And now I'm going to take my favorite lower lash line brush. This is part of the original set. And I'm going to use this more cool toned, taupey mid-tone shade for the lower lash line on the outer half. I'm not going to take it all the way across. I want to kind of keep the inner part just a little bit bright. Well, so much for that because I took it all the way across with that one, so. Okay. I feel like I did miss a spot. Where's the one that I used for the inner corner? Right there. I don't like how I brought that shimmer up a little bit because it's got a little bit of a cast. So I'm going to try to just cover that shimmer part going up with the clear again. Yeah, it has a little bit of a cast. That, which one was it? This one. It's got a little bit of a cast on the skin. But wow, I absolutely love the way that the look turned out. Let me now just use that big blender to blend everything softly together into the crease. Oh my gosh, that is a stunning eye look. And it is so pretty that I don't even feel like you need any eyeliner. So I am, however, curious to use that angled pencil liner, like this angled brush liner. I started off learning how to do my eyeliner with a brush like this. As a matter of fact, if I showed you my original brush set, I have a brush like this in it. But it's a double-ended brush. It was a Lancome brush. And the other side is like a teeny tiny little detailed brush, which would be great for inner corner or up in the brow bone. But I didn't do inner corner or brow bone way back in that day. So I just used that side to store it. And then I had the pencil side sticking up because I used the pencil side. I digress. Rather than to get like a dark eyeliner or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and use this palette with this brush. And I'm going to use this smoky shade here. Let me use the enlarged side of my mirror. Hold on. Yeah, it's so much easier to use this kind of a brush because it just like goes over the outside angle of your lashes and over the length of your lashes to be able to get into the front without having to face the brush the wrong way to where then I shape the eyes wrong, which is why I had stopped doing any like shadow in the front of my lashes. But now that I have like this brush in my hands, I feel like I can pull off that front shadow a lot better again. I think that looks fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and use that same shadow color to do a little bit of a liner on the lower lash line. I love how precise I can be with this brush. I will admit that a big part of that is also because I'm using an enlarged mirror so that I can see, but the brush itself is like making it so easy to be incredibly precise and not get it down in other areas. Wow, okay, so here's the eyeshadow look all by itself. Now, I'm excited to finally test out this Charlotte Tilbury mascara. I feel like I should have set my concealer because I can see it creasing just a little bit. But I don't feel like I have any fallout or anything. That just looks like my freckles coming through the foundation. So yeah, I absolutely love the way that this look turned out. I'm excited now to test out this Charlotte Tilbury mascara now. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, it's a beautiful component. Ooh, I just almost got some on my nose. I forgot to curl my lashes, but that's probably just as well so I can see what the mascara does on its own. It's okay. I'm gonna give it a minute and see what it's like building it up, but so far, first impressions of the first coat is just, it's okay. Not worth the price tag compared to other mascaras that are incredibly comparable and half the price. And I got mascara down on my mole, so now I have a black spot there. Great. See that black spot there on my freaking mole? Great. Just great. Oh my God, Michelle. Struggle is real, man. Well, that's gonna have to be as good as it gets. I mean, it's okay. It's probably better than her other mascara was, but it's literally like not the best thing ever. It does build up better than it works better on the second coat than it did on the first coat. So it does build up nicely and is a little bit more padal and more like impactful on the second coat. But the first coat, I feel like it's more of like a primer layer. And I don't really like having to have a primer layer because I want a mascara to look nice on one coat. Like one good built up coat if I want to. And then I want it to look better on two coats, but not like a requirement to have to use two coats for it to be good. Does that make sense? That might just be asking for too much, but that is how I feel about mascaras. So if I don't like the first layer, you know, that does impact the level of excitement that I have towards that mascara of use, and it impacts my ranking and rating of it, like how it ranks compared to my other ones that I like. I would say this is very comparable to my Essence Lash Princess, honestly, like combining both the volume and the lengthening one. Okay, so there is the Charlotte Tilbury, I guess it's called maybe an exaggerized. Yeah, there is the, so there's the Charlotte Tilbury exaggerized, all done all by itself. Now I'm going to use the Believe Beauty mascara for the skinny wand on the lower lash line. I struggle so much with my hands and my dexterity issues ever since I was hit with all of those autoimmune conditions a few years back. Thankfully, I've been able to clear most all of that up, but I still have like nerve issues in my hands, I guess. Wow, that is skinny. Let's break this up 'cause it's been sitting a while. It still smells good because it's been sealed. absolutely love this skinny wand. So this will be probably a wand that I'm going to keep so that I can, oh, good Lord. Did you just see that? I gave myself a black spot on my nose. Anyways, I think this is going to be a wand that I keep even after this mascara expires, since I can no longer get this mascara anymore, I think, easily. Because Believe Beauty is no longer found at Big Lots. Was it Big Lots? No. Boy, that was an old store. I didn't even go there in years. What am I talking about? Dollar General? Yeah, since they left Dollar General last year in 2024, I can't get this mascara anymore, you know, and so I won't be able to just get another skinny wand one for my lower lash line. Plus, I don't even know if this formula is going to be that good. So far, it doesn't seem like it's acting very good, but I do really, really like the wand. Yeah, see how this formula is kind of clumping in some areas? Okay. Not necessarily the best, but not necessarily the worst. Let me go ahead and add a second coat, and let's just see what happens. I mean, it's okay. It's a workable formula. We'll have to see what the longevity is like, or like if it flakes down or whatever, but I really, really love the, okay, we'll have to see if it like flakes or anything, but I really, really love the wand of this one in order to fit it into my eyes, so that's a plus. Now I got to let this like dry off and flake off if I can remember. That's gonna have to just play off like a freckle. Okay, so let me pick a lip. I forgot, I don't have my lipsticks in here. So, the only lip product that I have in here with me is this one from Pat McGrath, and I really don't feel like adding a red lip for the day. Just not in the mood. So I'm gonna just leave my lips plain and add a little bit of lip liner. All right. While I'm here and I feel the need to set this concealer, let me go ahead and set my under eyes with some setting powder. Okay, and then there is the look of the day. So let me just add some setting spray now and I'm all done. I should have remembered to do the setting spray before I put on this mascara, but it's important for me to test it out and see if it's going to work with the way that I remember to do my setting spray or not, because I never can remember to do the setting spray before mascara. I don't want to say never, more like rarely. All right, so now that my hair is going to frizz up because I sprayed the top of it, give that a moment to dry and take it off the enlarged mirror. I love the way that this palette looks on my eye color. Like, there's the finished look. Well, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I tested out some new makeup today and put on my full face of the day so that I could try to look and feel like a human for the day. I had a lot of fun playing with this makeup, and so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you did enjoy, I would love it if you take a moment to click the like button and make sure you're subscribed to my channel before you go so I can see you in my next video. Bye!